Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to make this photo. And I should have shown you the photo which I'm just about to make just now. What it is going to be a selection of a whole pile of shots of this skier, which I did a whole bunch of strobe photos taking him doing a massive 360 jump. What it is, it goes from, if you can see here, from a shot from here to here, here, and now it goes on until he lands. So this is what I'm going to do, and I'm just going to show you how I make it. So the editing software that I'm going to be using is called Gimp, or GNU Image Manipulation Program. And it is a bit like Photoshop or some kind of photo editing stuff, but the great thing is it's free and anyone can get it, and it works on Mac and on PC, and it's totally free, so you don't need to worry about anything. So what I want to do is I want to open up the photos in this, and what I want to do is I want to open them up as layers. So click on that. Now I'm going to be opening up a lot of photos here, so this is where you probably need quite a strong program here. So I'm going to be opening up, I need to go from 12 to 25. Okay, and that's all the photos loaded onto the screen. Now if you notice I do any mistakes, it's because I'm very drunk at the moment. But let's not that get in the way, whatever. Okay, so what's happened in Gimp is that all the photos have loaded up as layers in the left-hand side. So it goes 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, blah, 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 blah. Background then 25. So for some reason it's randomly called number 24 as the background. So just moved it all so it's in the right places. And what it works out as is that the top one, the one at the top, is one where the skier is just taking off. So as you can see here, that's him just about to take off. If I go to the next shot, so if I just take the icon off, we'll see that that's him in the second position, and then so forth, there, there, and there. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that all the photos are in the right position. Now, because I was actually doing this handheld, I was using the Nikon D700 with my Tokina 11 to 16mm lens, and I had my Nikon speed lights up the hill in different positions. So now, even though it was taken at 7 frames a second with the flashes going off, there's still a little bit of hand movement here. So what I want to do is I want to make sure that each of the images are in technically the same place. So what we'll use is we'll use the first image as the base, as it were. And the great way to test this is, let's say I'm going to use the top of the hill as the main kind of area to look at for being in the right position. So to make sure that you're doing it right is, on the top image, just bring the opacity down to around about 40%. And here, it all looks absolutely fine. If I bring the eye icon off, and I go to the next one, and I bring that down to 40%, I can see if there's any change, and it's looking pretty good. And then I'll just go through the whole list of shots, bringing the opacity down to around about 50 or 40%, and see if there's any, mainly if there's big changes. They usually happen later on in the shot. There, and that's it so it's now in a much better position. Okay, so now we're going to get into the fun part, or the long, tedious, boring part, however you want to see it. What we're doing is that we're adding layer masks and we're painting in the previous photo. So, I want to zoom in a little bit more into the area that we're going to be working with. So that's kind of more this area. So I want it on my full screen so I can get quite close and detailed into the shot. And what I want to do is over here, I want to come onto the image and I want to go over to the image and I want to go to add layer mask, which you see here. Now, layer mask will give you a whole bunch of options. What I want is the full transparency. So effectively that whole image disappears apart from the bit which I'm going to paint in. So if we zoom out, what will happen, he will disappear, and then the next image in the 7 frames a second that we got, which will probably just be a little bit further in front, will appear. So if we click that, click add. Ta-da! Magic. And what we want to do is we want to paint back in. So take over the paint brush, which is this one here. And we'll also want to make it white. So that's an important thing. Make sure it's either white or black. Either way, just don't make it pink or red or all that kind of crap. Also, the next important thing is to change the brush so it's a soft brush. And changing the size, don't worry about that at the moment, because what you can do is just changing the square bracket one way or the other decides its size really. So if we go over to the image here, what I know is that the guy was roughly around about here. So if I paint over this, we'll slowly see that he's coming back into the photo. If I want the brush to be bigger, I just press the square bracket so it gets, you know, the kind of closing the square bracket, so that makes the brush bigger. And let's just paint that over where he was. And my advice here would be to go into as much detail and as close as you can possibly get into the image. Then once you've done that, it's just a case of doing that to every photo afterwards. So the next one, I'll just show you the same thing again. You add layer mask, make sure it's black, and then what we do is we go and paint in the previous shot here. So what you want to, so that's the image done, and now what you want to do is you probably want to go up to layer and go new from visible. So effectively what's going to happen now is at the top, or it should be at the top, hold on, move that there. We can close down all the layers at the side, but yet we will still see the image, as you can see here. And now we can play with this shot and we can work around the kind of cropping, or if we want to do anything with the exposure or anything like that. For me, I'm definitely going to crop this, so I'm going to click on the crop tool here and just bring this in so it takes up that. Want it so that the skier goes right to the top of the image and is skiing right out of the image. There, I don't want too much of the crappy ground in the background. There, and click return, and then that's my final shot. Hope that helps. Cheers, bye bye.